Hello and welcome, everyone. Hopefully you are all having a pretty good Monday. Always rough when you start the week. You guys can probably hear a little bit of raspiness in my voice. Some ways a little better than I was on Saturday, some ways a little worse. We'll see how it goes. So, should be able to do the stream, and I've got cough drops and everything in case my throat gets a little sore. But I see no reason not to continue streaming. So we've got some good stuff that I want to review today. So you probably saw the bot's already running. It is in chat, so you can go ahead and give it commands, everything like that. And actually, I just remembered there's one change that I was asked to make that I am going to do before we get started here. Welcome, Franklin. Thank you for following. The change I'm going to make, some people asked if I could make the chat box a little larger so that you could see more of the text that was in there, because our bot frequently spits out messages in there. So I'm going to make it a little bit bigger than it normally is. Hey, Sink Awake and Sky Hoshi, Arid Tag. How are you all today? So I'm just going to tweak this chat box a little larger. We're going to do that. And then, interesting, right, I'm not going to be able to do that because it's not the right size. In that case, I'm going to get rid of the chat border, so it's not going to say it's the chat. Because I can make this one larger. There we go. So I apologize about the rectangle. That's going to take up a little bit more space than it usually does. But we should be able to... Oh, right, it's locked. That's why I couldn't move it. Alright, there we go. Now there should be a rectangle in the way, everybody. So I apologize about that rectangle getting a little bit in the way, but that ought to make things work a little better. So now you can see a bit more. Welcome, C# Fritz and friends. Hopefully you are all having a good Monday. Yeah, exactly. So Sky Hoshi, I don't use the properties window all that frequently anyway, so I'm thinking it's not going to be a problem. The one I'm worried about is we're going to hit the bottom of our Solution Explorer, I think. So actually, that's a good point. I will shrink this just a hair. And sorry about making these changes on stream, guys. I should have done this before we got in here. I'm going to make that a 450 box. We're going to do this. That is how tall that is going to be. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and lock those in place, and then we can go ahead and get started again. So anyway, welcome. Sorry about the delay. That should help out with seeing some of the chat commands come through, especially when the games happen. So for anybody that is new here, we are programming a C# chatbot. It is in .NET Core, and that chatbot has a handful of games that we can play using it. And for those games, they'll spit out a lot of text into our chat. Now, some of that we might eventually move into whispers so that we don't have to deal with chat commands loading up our chat window. But some people were commenting that over there on the left, right, your right, my left, that way, the chat box was a little bit small when the games were being played. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this working. Arid Tag, I'm not sure what that is that you're noticing with the stream rewinding, but let me know if that continues to be an issue, and we can figure out if it's something that I can help with. I assume it's not on my end, but it could be. Okay, so the pull requests that we wanted to take a look at, we actually have a few pull requests in here. A couple of them are going to remain on hold for a little bit, but I want to talk about them. So this first one here is from Arid Tag. This is a work in progress. Now, we're not going to work on this one right this second, but I am going to help you out with this one, Arid Tag, or someone else can. The change, the one thing that I don't want to jump into too far here is I know that Discord.net and TwitchLib aren't going to line up perfectly, and so I want to make sure that the layer that we create around TwitchLib and Discord.net makes it so that we can treat them the same on our end. So whatever wrapper layer we put on there is going to have to be set up so that you can't really tell the difference between each one. So some of the things like subscribing from the chat client, for example, that needs to go away. We need to have some concept of a subscribable service. So like an subscribable something or other. And it's going to happen that the Twitch client is going to implement that, but not any other ones. So by splitting up the interfaces for all these different pieces, we're going to be able to make it so that it works out nicely. So we're going to make sure we follow the interface segregation principle, and I think it'll all work out nicely. We just need to take a fine-tooth comb and go through our current project and make sure that we're all set up to be able to do that. Okay, so Sky Hoshi's not having any issues. Okay, well, hopefully that clears up for your Arid Tag. It's interface segregation. And essentially, the idea is that the interface segregation principle says that you want to have an interface that is very specific to the thing that you're doing. So the idea is that I wouldn't want to have an interface that's like the I could say I could have larger interfaces, but if I have a large interface, it should be the conglomeration of other interfaces if I'm going to do that. So the idea is I might have an interface for a followable service, which just has the events for being able to follow, or one for being able to subscribe and things like that. Okay, cool. Yeah, sorry about that, Sky Hoshi. And probably the raspiness in my voice right now doesn't help either. So, all right. So, we're going to take a look a little bit at the change from Arid Tag, and not merge this one in today, because first off, because it's not done. But I do want to at least take a look on stream at what we've got that's changing. So, implemented the iChat client interface, and is pulling in all the Discord settings that we need. A Discord socket client, which must be the actual type from them, and then Discord settings as well. So effectively that lets us have a wrapper in our own interface around what Discord does for us. So we'll take a look at all the specifics of that later, but I just want to take a look at what else is in here. So Discord settings, that's useful. And I'm assuming that that's going to follow our new structured setup. And to user role from theirs. Okay, good. So we're doing extensions again to go from the types that are inside of the Discord.net library into our own types. So I like that approach because it makes it easy for anybody that gets that object to just say, hey, convert it to this one. I really like extension methods for conversion methods. Yes, Sky Hoshi, exactly. There are a lot of things that we all do and know are the right way to write code, but we don't always know what the name is for the thing. And so that is it is really good to actually know that, because there's actually the full set of solid principles, which many of us follow anyway because we know they're a good idea. We don't follow them every time, but we usually try. Okay, so a couple of other config changes. Yep, there's structured setup and some there's an infrastructure connection for Discord, so I like it. I think it's a good direction, and Arid Tag, I will assist with that one. The editor config one, so this is just the addition of an editor config. I want to go through this, and I am going to take a look at these. I think probably this default set that we've got is pretty good, but I just want to take a look at a couple of things just to make sure that I don't have to immediately go and fix it. So the one comment that I put on here that I did want to mention, Async Awake mentioned that that we would probably follow my preference, and I will mention that I think that's a good idea, since I'm the only person that actually has to write this code on a live stream. And so since I'm writing it on a live stream, it's much easier if I don't have to, you know, be like, oh wait, what's the way we do that? So we're gonna follow my approach. That way it's just a little easier while I'm live streaming. But one of the things that I am always in favor of is, I don't care what policy you pick on something. So if someone actually wants to make a case for anything against, you know, what I say, how I say we're going to do things, bring it up. I'm good as long as we all are consistent on it. So it's one of those things, like, I don't mind working on projects where it's tabs or spaces, just as long as we don't mix them. Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to that I want to go over here before we start writing some code today, I want to apologize to JD Phoenix, because I approved this but then realized what it is actually missing. So JD Phoenix set up an awesome alias command, which I really want to use really soon. And I'm tempted to just merge it in even without the piece it's missing. But the one piece that it is actually missing here is if we add a new command, it won't add in its command by default. We would have to push that into the system for the initial one, I think. Now, JD would be able to tell me if I am wrong on that, and he did program that, because if he did, then we are golden and there's nothing to worry about. But I just wanted to put that question out there, because at least from my preliminary look at the code, it doesn't look like it'll handle that case, but it handles everything else really, really well. So I think this is basically what I was hoping that we would be able to set up for this. So it is quite nice, and I will be merging it in soon. The next one, we set up a... Okay, cool, JD Phoenix. I was pretty sure it didn't. I might merge it in anyway and just deal with the consequences of that, but I would prefer not to if I can avoid it. Because it shouldn't be that difficult to just add a check at the beginning to grab all the types regardless and check to see if they have a primary, and include them if you need to. So that was sort of what I was thinking is, for all the other data initialization that we do, we're just looking to see, is this section in the database already? If it's not, then go ahead and add it. And that's how we get our base data into the project. I'll show you guys that code really quickly. It's actually just right here. We just do, you know, do we have these rows in the database? If we don't, then we just create our initial set for them, because there's an initial default set that we would kind of want to have so the bot's kind of usable. The simple commands get you things like alert command, and the quotes are my initial set of quotes. You wouldn't technically need that one. You could just start from nothing and add in quotes, so I just put that in there because it's nice, and this one just adds in a quick reminder, which all of this default data is probably going to get yanked out at some point, be somewhere else, but I don't mind having a default set, and as long as it's fairly easily changeable, that should also be fine. So that's how that works. Last thing here, the autofact dependency inversion container. Awesome. I think we're probably just going to pull this one in. The one change that I am hoping we can get at some point, and I'm going to review this code right now, because I did take a look at it, is in this, it goes through and it initializes the same way we already do, which is why I'm probably going to bring it in, because it's no worse than what we have today. but I'd like to make it so it goes through the entire list of commands based on finding all the bot commands that are in the system and just initializing one of each one without having to have a line per command in the system. I'd like it just to find them. And actually, taking a look at this, which ones did you mention here? Add a restart command, clean up dependency injection. So dependency, okay. And then we'll come up with a registry per module for that piece. Okay. So, other things, we do have, so we're going to get the aliases, and once alias exists, then this won't matter, but we did merge in from Kazru a quick change that just added in CMD as another valid way of requesting the commands that were available. So that works in this version. You can call either one. And we also, there was a small issue that we merged in to our master branch. When we did the restructure of the configuration, we just needed to change how it does the migration piece. So for anyone that doesn't know, just to cover how this works, inside of our bot, when it starts up, what it actually does is it does our initial migration. Let me just search for it right there. So we call ensure the data, ensure we have our database, and it does this call for migrate. So when it runs migrate, what it actually ends up having to do is it goes to our data context and it creates a DB context at the time that you do that and needs to make a connection. Now the problem is we changed where the connection string variable. So that's what ended up getting it. Is it actually calls this in the app data context factory in order to do that migration. So that's actually why that piece is there, in case anyone's wondering. That is that. So let's take a look again at the code for our AutoFac DI container. So changes here. I do know that you put an interface on pretty much everything when you set this up, because you set up the AutoFac container to implement the interfaces of these. So we have a one-to-one interface for basically every type right now. Although I'm thinking we can set up some of these, like the automated action system. I guess if we want to be able to, at some point when we want to be able to mock it, we're going to need to pull this out, but today we don't necessarily need to. So I guess my question then would be, are we using these interfaces anywhere other than just to be consistent? Where is that? It should be the most obvious file in here. Here it is. So inside of our setup bot, we now use a container, and we do a container builder, and we are just registering each type, and we're saying as implemented interface and doing an instance per lifetime scope, which should make it so that we have an instance of these that will last for the lifetime of our program's execution, essentially making each one of these a singleton that lives forever. And that's sort of what our commands do today. So that's how all of our commands are set up. That's how basically all the objects are in this project right now. Sam who swam, welcome, thanks for following. So that's basically how this is set up today. And a couple of these are sort of delayed in that they, so essentially the first time that they're used, they need to pull in the set of the other ones. And the reason it's set up this way is because the to do. That's an interesting spelling of to do. Greetings. So the point is that these commands need access to the other commands, so that's why they're written this way. So, okay, so that's the basic change. I may merge this in and do some refactoring of it, just so that we don't leave it sitting out there unused. And we might clean this up ourselves. Nivix, you have to RPS rock for that. Alex Master Fort, thank you for following. Yeah, so like that. And the reason we do that, and thank you also for following to do 95. The reason we do it that way, Nivix, is because we want to leave as many top-level command words available as possible, and so we don't want to essentially block ourselves off from having different commands. And that's going to become even more important once we allow for new commands. Because I'd like to make it so that someone could just add a plugin, say like you know, add a DLL for the game you want it to play and automatically wire all that up. So, and Sam Who Swam doesn't have enough coins. And what, 50? Congratulations, Sam Who Swam. Have 50 coins. You can now play rock, paper, scissors. Oh, that's funny. See, I failed to do it, but Async Awake got you covered. Okay, let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and merge this in, I think, and I might clear out some of the code that's in here later. So we'll merge it in for now. And then I am going to hop over and fetch master again. And we're going to get this running. So let's see. Don't start any games right now, guys, because I will cancel them on you. So just restarting the bot for a second. I'm going to rebuild, rerun the bot, so we'll be running on the one that's using autofac now. So just be aware. Okay, so now this should be the new one. And you guys can go ahead and play Hangman while we get this code running, because I have one other change that I want to make. So we are running on the master branch right now, but we don't want to continue on that. So what I am going to do is go ahead and get this set up. So we are going to switch over to our heist game again. I'm going to rebase this. We have merge conflict inside of setup bot. That is not surprising. So what we are going to do is keep both, I think, and then figure out what we need to get rid of here. So rock, paper, scissors, that's not mine. Heist game, I shouldn't need to set up. I should no longer need to set that up because it should be able to give me my automated action system. Without that, so we're going to call this the Hangman command. Whoops, Hangman command. Ooh, that's a good question. So I'm going to register my new Hangman game. Whoops, game. has self, because I didn't give it an interface. Well done, Janiscu. Yes, exactly. So we want to break out modules and also hopefully have some things initialize themselves, JD Phoenix. That is exactly the idea. HTML5 and CSS, I'm sure plenty of us have used it in here. Beans is baked. Did I spell watermelon wrong? Oh yeah, I totally did. That's funny. That's good. Either way, yeah, no. See, look, watermelon spelled totally right. No one fixed that before now? Thanks, guys. I blame you. This was totally not my fault. How could I possibly have known how to spell watermelon? That's just absurd. Instance per lifetime scope. And in order to just cheat this here, I'm just going to set the initial word list equal to this and not worry about it. Sorry, guys. I'm taking this shortcut for now because on stream I'm not going to mess with this. Word list provider. Wait, what? Did we change how that was set up? Oh, right. Word list is already set up. Yeah, that's already set up. Oh, that's funny. Why am I even messing with this? Heist game is literally the only piece in there I care about, isn't it? That is my mistake, guys. That is literally the only one. Why was I messing with the other one? Really? I'm confused by that. Where is the other heist command in here? Ah, it's down below. Got it. Got it. That was my mistake. Sorry, brain just not working there for a second. Yeah, exactly. Those were secret words. You do know we're going to move them somewhere else. Same goes, why not automatically discover your types for the builder? Yeah, so that is actually the plan. We talked about that a little bit ago, and that is actually the plan. This is just how it got set up in the pull request that we just got at Apakovtech. So the idea is they are going to auto wire up. That just wasn't configured by the person that initially set this up, and I think it was just because step to this point and then make it work. Was kind of the idea. Only other piece we need is the heist one, which is this one, and it is just a heist command and it takes in a hangman game. I'm gonna put the game up there, and then where did we register the hangman? So we'll put the heist command right after it. Heist command, and this one is not going to be as self. This is going to be as implemented interface, plural. And then we should not need the rest of this, I don't believe. And now we are fixed. Okay, there we go. Sky Hoshi, yeah, we're integrating that pull request. which has a little bit of some work because we need to rebase onto it and start using that piece. So that's what we're getting hit with right now, is trying to make that part of this. So wait, did this one seriously not have should execute already? Heist command wasn't a base command already? Well, that's impressive. I hadn't realized I hadn't done this one on here yet, so you guys will see how this conversion happens. What did I say heist command was? Everyone? Everyone. So, base. The role required is going to be everyone. And our list of words is going to be heist for now. And actually, because I'm a nice guy, look at this. Look at how nice I am. We're gonna let you type heist, because I'm nice. That's how nice I am. Okay, and I think in base command is enabled as the default, right? True. Yep, is enabled as the default. Now this needs to be an override, and I think that'll get those pieces. We no longer use these because they're up in the base class as well. That should simplify that basically down to nothing. Hey, Crimson Green, thanks for the lurk. But I am going to stop the bot again. So hopefully that all makes sense to all of you guys, how all that works and what we're doing here. So let's get that running again, and then we're going to continue our rebase. Heist command, and we are going to add setup bot. I did not find everything yet. Let's go ahead and just make sure. Okay, those aren't in here. What was our error? Wow. Dependency resolution. That is one ugly error. Cannot resolve automated action system of... Okay, so it didn't like that one. Where else am I using the automated action system? This is in the heist game. The heist game's the only one using it now? Oh, maybe it's the only one that's ever been using it. Ooh, that's my mistake. That is my mistake. Alright, so I need to set up the automated action system right here. Oh. It doesn't need to have actions by default, does it? We can add them in. Because it didn't know what to do with that collection where we have it here. Maybe that changes in a future piece. That's the problem with rebasing. Let's run it again. So the problem with a rebase versus a merge is that we're applying these commits one at a time. So if one of these commits was an incomplete point, it might not execute just yet. So what I'm going to do, we are not working right, but I want to continue the rebase instead of sitting here messing with this. So we're going to do a rebase continue, because I think we're not done. Okay. So that's when I switched it to a base command. See, I should have continued my rebase earlier. Let's see, we just need to add in heist command. Hey, the official Varglian, thank you for following. I have no idea how you guys actually pronounce that. What? Didn't I get all these? I thought I got all these. So, Kazru, to explain a rebase, the idea is that I want to take my code and pretend that it was built on this other base to begin with. So essentially, we've made a bunch of other changes, and instead of having a merge, I was hoping to just really easily have all this code just suddenly use the other one. But it's not working as nicely as I wanted it to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to abort this rebase, and we're just going to merge in master. Now, this is going to break a couple of things, because I know in here that I'm going to have to do the change that I just made a moment ago, and that's not terrible. The pieces I need to remember to set up are the heist command and the heist game. So what we're going to do is we're going to borrow this, and we're going to call this a heist game. This is going to disappear, and this is a heist command. And these can disappear. This is the old code. It no longer needs to be here. So that'll go away. And then this part down here is the old setup for this, which I think only had the one heist piece. So I'm going to drop this as well. And we're going to be left just with that piece there. And so now, ideally, this works nicer than the rebase, which isn't always pretty, to be honest. When a rebase works nicely, it's really nice, because you pretty much do nothing, and it just is done. When it doesn't work, it can get kind of ugly. So I'm going to run this again. We're going to see if it works. We'll see if we get our dependency resolution errors like we were getting a moment ago, or whether everything got cleared up when we did this the easy way. And thank you for tossing in that link, FunkMasterF. Big fan of rebasing here. Now, see, it still doesn't like this one. Is it my heist game that's causing the problem? Just checking. I'm going to comment it out and see if it's just the state that we're on. Maybe it's the master branch that's broken right now. If it is, I'll roll it back. No, it's these two. Alright, so heist game. What are its dependencies? It wants an automated action system, which I need to change to be an automated action system. That's why we had the problem. Alright, figured it out. And let me just take a look now at the heist command. Does it have anything else in its? It wants a heist game, and that I had wire up as self, so that one should be fine. So these two should now work. I'm going to go ahead and kill the bot instance. So hopefully no one was trying to play a game on it. And I'm actually going to kill this other one too. We don't need it. There we go. Alright, so that should fix that. Hopefully the resolution is gone. Janisku testing out all the commands. Mangus. And let's see what it does when it starts. There we go. Got it. So the reason we were having that error, I was depending on the concrete class, and we had created an interface for it. Hey, Swifty Spiffy, how's it going? So, sometime soon, we're going to adjust how this works, and it's going to wire up a little nicer. We'll set up AutoFac to do most of that based on scanning assemblies and just automatically wiring up things based on their interfaces, taking more of a convention-based approach, especially for implementations of iBot command. So the same way that JD Phoenix set up the aliases is actually basically how we're going to set up the code for our AutoFac wire up. I don't know why my brain stopped working there for a second. Okay, so the heist game exists, everybody. So let's take a look at where we left that off. So when I type heist, it starts up this heist game. And you can join the heist either with a role or without specifying one. So why don't everybody go ahead and join the heist, and we'll let that heist game actually happen, and we'll take a look at what we get. And while that goes, I'm going to go and bring up our, what did we call it, a heist mission? So, oh, everybody joined the heist, and we got arrested because we talked about the heist publicly on a Twitch chat. Maybe we shouldn't have done that. That was stupid, guys. Let's plan our heist in a more secret location next time. Okay, so the reason that happened is because the only mission that we have right now is just a failed heist. And I want to set this up so that we can have some other things. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, Kasru. We all got arrested. What a bummer. Okay, so the handful of things that I want to do with this. And actually, before we get to that, let me do a merge change on this before we go any further. I don't think I did. Exactly, Swifty Spiffy. The only heist is a failed heist. The only mission's a failed heist right now. Okay. So, let's see. Name, attempt the heist. Okay, so for now, we want to make a collection of heists. So here's what I'm going to do. For now, I'm just going to make this a set of heists that are in here. We'll make this data-driven eventually, but I don't really want to yet because we're sort of building it. And adding in the element of the database actually adds a bit of complexity that's going to distract us from what we're trying to write here. So I'm going to call this missions. And what I want to do with this is start writing the tests for a heist mission, because I think we can fully drive the whole heist mission piece with unit tests. And I think this is going to work nicely because I don't think we're going to need any database connection for this. And I think that'll be nice. So, let's see. Heist mission, heist missions, list of heist mission. Preferred roles on a mission. And then what I'm going to do is this. Whoops. We are going to learn how to type, because I don't know how, apparently. So we're going to make a new heist mission, and it is going to be... At this point, the game is just checking which followers are willing to participate in a crime. It should be called Sting Up instead of Heist. Hey, Sync Awake, that is kind of awesome, actually. I love that. That's good. Okay, ooh, I hadn't looked at that. I will take a look at your feature request soon, Sky Hoshi, but that sounds fun. I want to review this really quickly, because we put in our example ones. So we're going to have a bank robbery. And preferred roles for bank robbery are these ones. So we're going to say... now I'm going to do this. Whoops, suing using HR equals... Whoops. Heist roles, right? hr.thief, hr.tech, whoops, hr.grifter. Don't kill me, anybody. Don't kill me, guys. Let's see. The only vision sounds like you're saying we need mocks in our tests. JD Phoenix, we will need mocks in our tests. That is totally correct. Is there a way to override the heist timeout? Thanks, Dylan. Sky Hoshi, the only way to do that right now. So what we have right now is JD Phoenix, I didn't even think of the fact that we associated all the people in HR. That makes sense. We're using XUnit, Dylan. And should there be a way to override the timeout? Sky Hoshi, there's a timeout on the heist, and it should be overridden when everyone joins. So, if that's not the case, let me know. And the reward, did we say what the rewards would be for these? No, but a bank robbery is worth like 1,000 coins or something. The other ones is a mob bank robbery, which you really don't want to do. That was a bad idea. Thief, tech, grifter, and instead of a... Oh, we add a hitter. We added a hitter in that case, and then the museum heist does not need the tech anymore for some reason. Don't ask me why. I just chose that one at random, I think, when we were doing that one. Thief, grifter, and then we picked up a hacker. Because why not? And then the jewelry store. We wanted a hacker to disable the alarm. Don't ask me how he does that, but he does. And then a driver and a carrier. Okay, the mob bank is worth more. Not that much more. The museum heist is about as hard as the bank robbery. The jewelry store is the easiest one, though. So, there we go. Let's see. I'm watching from a VM running Linux while coding. Nice. Oh, that's actually... yeah, that's... totally not going to be any lag on that. Okay, so there is our set of missions. Yes, I know they're just hard-coded for now. Give me a break. It's fine. So that's our preferred roles. That's our reward. And then an attempt heist, we're going to have to do that. So here's what we're going to do. This is inside of core games. And we want to add a folder. We're going to add in a folder for the heist game. And then inside, oh, actually, it's just called heist. And then inside of this, we are going to add in a folder for heist mission tests. And then I'm going to make a class for attempt heist should. Phase Anaka Evil Thor. Wow, I butchered that like multiple times, but welcome, thank you for following. And I apologize for horribly messing up your name, but hopefully I got kinda close. Probably not, based on how I was saying that. And yeah, I just put in test 1 because I'm going to figure out what it's going to be testing in a moment. Should there be a way to override the... Oh, okay. Glad to hear it, Sky Hoshi. Alright, so here's what we want to set up. So I'm going to make a new heist mission. Heist missions... were we making new ones of these somewhere? I made a new one in the heist game, didn't I? And that's why we died? Made a failing heist with nothing and just failed it. Okay, yeah. So... here's what we're gonna do. Heist mission. I'm gonna do a get random, but also a get by name or ID or something like that. Just so we can test this, I'm gonna put that in there like that. So we're gonna have int ID, and that is how we are going to lock this down. We're gonna say get by ID. This is going to take int ID, and then what we're going to do is we're going to say that this is an expression-bodied method that just gets us back missions, singular default, where the ID... whoops. Did I... It can access it that way, right? Because we're in here? Yeah, okay, cool. So, we're just going to pull by ID to yank the correct one, and that's how that's going to work for now. What's this yelling at me about? Create another part of the type? Not sure why it wants to do that. But anyway, that'll now let us grab by ID so we can pull a specific heist or create our own for testing purposes. I figure we might want to be able to test the ones that are in here. Not sure yet. I just figured I'd make it possible. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. New heist mission, something. Preferred roles. That'll be an empty collection. That'll be 0, and then I'm going to attempt this heist. Heist mission.attempt the heist. We're going to pass in a fake chat client. We're going to pass in a set of roles that were selected by people. And that's it, actually. There we go. And that needs a mission result or something like that. I realize as I write that. I think, because I don't want this thing doing all the work itself. So we're going to pull this out into its own piece. And I'm going to say that a heist is sometimes going to have multiple messages. So we're going to call these the result messages. And the reason I want to do that is because it makes a lot of sense to me that there might be something that happened on the heist, and so we want to have extra detail about it, so we don't just want to do a single message. So we might just loop over the messages and send them out to chat. Why don't we make a list of, we'll call these surviving members. So we'll say that all the members who survived the mission get listed there, and then those are the messages that we print out as a result. Okay, so now we're going to make it so that attempting the heist returns back that result, which is a slight change to the structure, but I don't think it's a huge one. And what we're going to do is this. We're going to say heist mission result dot result messages equals, whoops, not equals, dot add. We're just going to add in this message that we put out here. So our failure will remain the same. So if we go back to the heist game, where it attempted the heist, we are then going to, for each over the heist mission result messages, we are going to chat client dot send message result message. Now the nice part about that is that actually means that this no longer actually needs a chat client in order to attempt a heist, because we're going to use the result for that. So that simplifies what this uses, which I like, because I don't want to have it's nice if we can centralize what is sending out chat messages a little bit. It's kind of silly to pass that around everywhere and always have access to it. Feels a little weird to me. Also simplifies the test a little bit, because we now don't need to deal with that. We can just look at the resulting object. We're going to make this a list of that type, because I think I can get away with it. Or did I actually do array? I did enumerable. Should work fine. Why are you complaining? extra paren. Alright, so now I want to do a heist mission result and then say surviving members should be empty. And then Async Awake just wanted to see what the Crimson command did. Return no survivors given no members. Yeah, it's a good one, isn't it, Async Awake? Test Explorer. Let's go ahead and run all these. Welcome, Snoopy715. Thank you for following. Before the message even came in. Man, I'm good. Gonna rerun that. It's the annoying thing about running the bot out of the actual app that we're building is I can't build the app then while we're doing it. At least when I change something other than just the tests. You tell me these tests aren't going to run? It'd be annoying if the tests don't run. Yeah, and if I didn't mention it, I am on the way out of a cold that I picked up previously. So I apologize in advance for any coughing or anything like that I do on stream. I'll try to keep that to a minimum. And Arid Tag is posting our GitHub and Discord links in there, so if you are interested in continuing the discussion with us or contributing to the project, you can either go to our GitHub and take a look at that and maybe make your first pull request and contribution to an open source project, or you can head to Discord and continue chatting with us all. So, Kazu asked about the follower notification picture last stream. Is there a story about Sound 2? No, I just like that one. That is from Mad Max Fury Road, and it's, just, I was like, hey, I need something kind of excited and weird and crazy because of the irony of following me off a cliff. So, it seemed fun. So, I like it. I know a number of people that didn't like that movie, but I also know plenty that thought it was great, so, and that scene certainly was good. Given easy win. So here's where it gets weird. I kind of need to mess with... Yeah, I will lead you to... Exactly, witness me. Precisely, or something like that. So, we need to mess with our randomness so that we're guaranteed a win. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say heist mission, whoops, not new, dot, what the, did I not make that thing static? I didn't make those static. Problem solved. Okay. Get by ID 1. Alright, so we're going to grab one of the existing missions, which I guess we don't need to do because we could pull it that way. But then I need to mess with random. So we use my random in here for this. And the way I had been dealing with it is I had been using a shim, but we ran into a problem the last time we were using our shim. So alternately, the way we set this up was we set this up as a static, which is a nice thing to do for random because you want to make sure that you're not creating more than one, and you want to make sure it gets seeded based on time, and then you don't want to create more than one because if you created two that were at the same instance, they would actually have the same seed and thus wouldn't be generating very random numbers. And so that's part of the reason why you want to generate a single instance of random, and that's one of the easy ways to do that is to just set up a static class for it. Now the problem is that the shim that I was using seemed to give us some weirdness, and it looks like it wasn't designed for unit testing, which I find strange. It looks like that shim was designed for your actual, like, regular code, not your test code. So that was a strange concept to me. But anyway, what I want to do to make sure that I get control of the random number that I take in is I want to have a way of replacing that random. So the only way I can see to do that, other than using a shim, which seemed to be giving us some trouble, so if we do my random, we could fake out random, tell it which numbers we want it to give us, or we change how this works to wrap our random object and hide it away. So I'm going to do that. I'm internally going to hide our random. So I'm going to make public interface random wrapper. And so we're just going to call it the random wrapper. And it's going to be the thing that has this. Hang on. Because I want this whole thing to just be static. Oh, man. I really need to get those shims working. Alright, so I'm gonna try the shim again, guys. I'm gonna try the shim again, because I really don't want to lose this. I like how this works. That my random is so nice. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and try to make that shim work. And I might have to contact the guy that made that open source project and ask him about his shims. Because I don't know why they're not working for us here. But we're going to have to take a look. So I want to bring in that, but not the other pieces. So I want to shim. And actually, I want to shim my random dot random number. What do you think? 0 to 100 is probably what we're going to do. And we're going to have it return back a number of a 99, which would be the maximum in that case. That'd be the highest number you could get, which we'll call the best. Alright, let's put this on the bottom. When we attempt the heist, that's when we want this to happen. So I'm going to take this shim, and I'm going to, whoops. I'm going to delete everything in it. We're going to make it a whole section here. We're going to do multi-line inside of the shim. So we're going to do that and the result inside of the shim. So there we go. Essentially making it so that when we're inside of the shim, what it should be doing is injecting in, getting in the way, and making it so that when myRandom.random number is called, with that parameter set, it responds back with 99. So now inside of my attempt heist, I want to get a random number. We're going to do that. We're going to get the random number. And I'm going to say if random number, well, actually, we're just going to call that. Let's just see if it blows up. We'll just call it do nothing else. Let's take a look at what happens. Welcome, Basic Wonder. Thank you for following. Oh, dang it. I can't build it while the bot's running now, can I? Alright, so the test failed. That's fine. Parameter count do not match. See? It's complaining with us again. Let's take a look at the piece that we're trying to make this work on. So, we are looking for pose this one. You know what? I'm gonna do an it isn't. I think I can get away with that. We're gonna do. Can I not get away with that right now? Oh, is. Sorry. Is a int. Is a int. Return with that. And these must be the ints that we're supposed to get. So we'll call that A and B, and we return back with hang on a sec. That makes no sense. Alright, we'll do an actual delegate. I'm not sure why it won't accept my lambda as if it were a delegate, but we'll go along with it. Yeah, see, it's funny. It wants to use a lambda expression here. Knowing it's the exact same thing. C# already knows I'm right. Not sure why the library insists on that. It must be the way that it reads the tree. The author of it must have been very, very, essentially greatly expecting that to be a object reference not set to an instance of an object. What? Where? Yeah, I know, right? That's kind of absurd, Sky Hoshi. I'm gonna see if I can debug this test and see where we can actually catch this. Yeah, exactly, Sky Hoshi. That's the confusing thing, is I'm not sure what's null here either. It's one of the things that has forever irritated me in .NET is they refuse to tell me what is null when I get a null reference exception. And yes, I am bitter about that one. Because you hear every time you complain about that it's difficult to do, and I kind of sit there and I'm like, yeah, but it would be like the most valuable thing to your developers if you could tell us what was null. Like, even if we can't get the name, give us the type. Like, a lot of times, even knowing the type would solve the problem. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to also toss a breakpoint in here. Before we call that, I'm going to see where we throw. Ooh, we throw immediately. Yes, arid tag. They did tell us that that was supposed to get better, and it still is supposed to be getting better. We'll see how much better it gets. Huh. Thanks, guys. Get index of matching shim. It's like it's not finding the right method or something, maybe? Because we're calling get random number, aren't we? My random.get random number. Yeah, right there. Exactly as is. And I could put this as 0 and 100, which I will. Even though I like the idea of that being those, but we'll try it this way, see if that makes a difference. If this is the case, I'm going to scrap another test until we can get better shims. So this is, yeah, what the hell? Another null ref. So, I don't know about you guys, but one of the things that I complained about is that Microsoft has yet to put out Microsoft fakes for any of this stuff. And so it's kind of irritating because, you know, the community's sort of stepping in, but it's not quite there yet. So let's open that one back up. We'll comment it out for now. It's kind of irritating because I should totally be able to test that. And I will be able to, but I just can't yet. So it's kind of frustrating. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We need to assign a difficulty level to each one of these. Maybe that's based on the maybe that's based on the number, I'm not sure yet. But what we want to do, so I want to take every person that's on this heist and give them a value. Twiggy Dev, welcome, thank you for following. So I want to say get party strength. So we're going to pass in the heist members. We're going to determine how much they're worth. We're going to say that's our party strength right there. This is probably going to create it as an object, which is going to be funny. We're going to make this an integer number. So we're going to take in the heist members, which actually we just need the roles for now. Which really is just going to be an IEnumerable of heist rolls. So we're going to call this the heist rolls. Rollses? Okay, so what I want to do is for each heist roll, I am really confused by that because my naming is weird. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. For simplicity, why don't we say all teams start at a strength of 100 for no reason at all? No, we're going to start at 0. And return the strength total. So, how many rolls do I have? Because right now we're limiting based on this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rolls. So 7 people are going on this heist. That's a lucky number. So, essentially, why don't we reverse what I was doing before, and instead of saying that 100 is the best roll you can get, we're going to say that 0 is the best roll you can get, because, you know, I'm a person that played classic editions of Dungeons & Dragons, and I know that to hit an armor class of 0, you want to roll a lower number. The system didn't make sense for anybody that has actually played classic D&D. There was a lot of weirdness in that. So what we're gonna say is preferred roles dot include dot contains the heist roll that we're currently checking. If it does, then we are going to add 20, 10, 10. So if you're bringing a preferred roll, you get 10. And if not, then you get 5. There's our simple way of doing it right now. We'll add in more stuff later, but that's a pretty simple way of doing this. So roughly speaking, you should, if you brought only preferred rolls, you would get like 70 something. How many preferred rolls do we usually have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So sometimes it's only a couple of rolls that are not actually the preferred ones. So why don't we make that 12? give you a little bit more of an edge there. No, we want this to come down to a die roll. So we're going to give you 10, which means you're going to get like 50 points. Best from that, and then probably up to like 60 on some of those. And then you're going to want to roll under that. So that'll get us the party strength. Then we'll say if random number is less than the party strength, I will not allow an equal to, then win, else lose. For now, this will be the lose. And the win will be let's see, somehow you all managed to complete the I wish the system gave you your prize of tokens, but it doesn't yet. So that is what we return no matter what. This needs to get declared up above that. And then it doesn't need to get declared there. And then that's what we're doing right now. I wonder if we need to up these numbers a little bit. I've got ideas for how I want to change this. I want some people to not make it back. For now, we're going to have everyone survive. So everyone will survive right now. Sorry, guys. We're gonna be nice, and we're gonna have to change how those messages are generated and some other things like that. There's a lot of stuff that has to change here. But I do want to get this working a little bit. So let's go ahead and stop the bot. We'll go ahead and start it again. Stop. Exit. Ah, right as I killed it. Async awake. What are you doing? That timing was terrible. Okay, so that'll get our bot running again. You can play Hangman if you like. But for now, let's get a heist game going. Just because I want to see if it's broken at all. Whoops. So everybody go ahead and join the heist, if you can, please. You can join the rock, paper, scissors game while you're at it if you want. But I want to get us joining the heist just so we can take a look at this one. I want to see what happens with it. So go ahead and type !heist if you're in chat. It'll be a good way for us to test this. Thank you everybody. Once we get like one more spot in here. Yeah. Sorry, Async Awake. I haven't written the heist help text yet. It's in progress. This isn't in the master branch yet. It doesn't need to have its help text. And yeah, like, it's gonna need some help text. Oh, come on, guys. You can't all be in here. I mean, we can wait the full amount of time. It's just nicer if it triggers early. Hey, coated beard. Thank you. There we go. I think we need one more. But the heist might start without it, so we'll see. Because it should automatically trigger. Oh, okay, cool. Everyone got arrested. So, that's fine. We knew that was one of the options. The key thing is that the system did work-ish. So I didn't break it totally. So that's good. Let's go ahead and get this committed. So I am going to get status, get add that one, and what we got? We got that test class, that game, and that. Okay, yep. Fleshing, filling in the missions. Alright. What the? You know, it helps if you get your get commands right, guys. I know there's a pro tip. You had no idea that you needed to type stuff correctly in order to make it work. Alright. Sounds good. There we go. Okay, so I like the way this is going. I don't know about you guys, but I kind of want to take a break on the heist game. I think I need to hit the drawing board on it and figure out how to make that one work a little bit better. Oh yeah, sorry, Async Awake. You gotta be a sub to start the Hangman game, which just keeps us from having too many games running all at the same time. But I can start one for you. So we have a nice Hangman game. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shelve this one for now. So we're committed and pushed. But what I want to do is I want to go and grab the code that JD Phoenix was working on. JD, you're not working on it right now, are you? I don't know if you're in chat, but either way, I want to do a quick change to your code if you didn't mess with it yet. Let's take a look. Alright, so banana? Oh, yeah. That is a very good point, Async Awake. There is only one. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab that pull request. So we're going to take a look at aliases. And I just yanked in that pull request code. So hold down. Let's go ahead, take a look. I'm going to make sure I've got the latest version of it, which I do. So now, the challenge that we were running into that I was talking about, and if with Juicy Bits, that is not the word. Oh, I know the word. I won't let us fail. Oh, and Kazru got it. Nope, there you go. Nice job, Kazru. Got there before I could. Well done. Alright, so here's what I want to do. We created a, get all command words thing. And it's if we're missing this, but I want to change this. I want to say, get missing command words. What's create do if you pass it nothing? Oh, well. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change this a little bit. I'm going to make this a variable. We're going to make this var missing command words. And we're going to say if missing command words any. Essentially, the idea is if there are any command words we're missing, then we're going to add them. So I need to change this method from get command words to get missing command words. And this method down here, as you'll see, is going to look to see which of these don't exist in our system already. Did I have access to the repository? I did not. So I'm going to have to pass this in. So we're going to pass in a repository to it. It's going to look to see which ones we're missing. And it's going to tell us which command words we need to add. Now the reason we're putting this in here, so this is our alias system. So actually I'm going to go ahead and turn it on so you guys can actually work with this. So don't start any games right now, guys. Not that you would have been able to hear me to change that and be able to avoid it anyway, but here you go. Yeah, so Kazru, we are going to have ways of spending coins eventually. But check this out. Coins, monies. Oh, crash. That's funny. We blew up. Yeah, no, we blew up. I don't know how we blew up, but we did. That worked the last time I tried it, to be honest. I know what happened. I broke it. Because I didn't fix this yet. Oh, Brendan, why did you break it? Why did you break it? See? I broke it. There we go. So now what I'm going to do is this. Congressman select command word entities. And what instead of returning this collection, because I don't want to return it, this is all default command words. That's going to be the default command words. And then what I want to say is command word policy. All. That's fine. Is all the only one we've got? By type, by word. I want to adjust the policy. I want a new policy, an easy one. So instead of having just a type, so this gets you by type, this gets you by word. I don't want to do those as individual requests. What I want to do is this. I want to have one that is I want to get only primaries. So we're going to say is primary. So we'll do that. So we'll grab all the ones that are primaries. Only primaries. Wait, that took a type. My bad. That's what I get for copy pasting. Okay, so that would give me all of them that are the primary ones, and then I want to say type info, name, like substring, so that's the command word. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I don't want all of this. I just want the names. Essentially, I want to see which names we don't have. So just grab the command word. That'll be var stored command words. So we're selecting just the command word, which is the string, and so then we're going to say where. So we want to get the ones that we don't have in here, where not stored command words contains. So this is going to be dot command word. To list. Yeah. I can't type today, guys. I can't type today. I apologize for that. I'm going to leave that as non-enumerable because I'm going to wear the thing anyway. Actually, why don't I just put it on there then? So this is going to go on here. There we go. So that'll be there, and then to list on its own line as well. And that's actually not too bad, and I think that will solve the problem. Does that seem correct to all of you guys? If it does, then I'm going to go ahead with this. Let's turn off the bot, which should... Oh, it was still running. It didn't actually fully crash, which is good. We didn't want it to fully crash. Okay, so the bot's up and running again, and we've set it up so that we should only be initializing the set that we actually need to initialize. I am going to confirm again that we did not add the extra data a second time. We did not, so that is positive. So we fixed that piece. I think I may have done the part that I requested that JD Phoenix add to this pull request, so if I did, that should work again. I don't think tokens is an alias of it yet, Janiscu. But I can do this. So now you can say tokens. And then alias delete tokens. So now when I say tokens, it doesn't do anything. So that seems to work. What other aliases did we want to have in here? Monies, that's what we were going to add. Tokens, monies. So monies is now an alias for tokens. So monies. There you go. Yeah, isn't that nice, Async Awake? That is basically what we wanted to have, was the ability to just add in aliases for these. So JD Phoenix built precisely what we were looking for. So that makes it super, super nice. So now, if you want to do command or commands... Oh, I didn't wire that one up. But they all work for all these purposes, so it's quite nice. He did very well with it. So thank you, JD Phoenix, for submitting that pull request. I think it works great. I am going to go ahead and send in this change. So we're going to call this, well, actually, let's confirm that it works. I did not confirm that it works. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to add in a new command, just a temporary one. Temp command. Sorry, Async Awake. This is going to be a base command. We're going to implement missing members. And in here, we are going to say send a message of this is only temporary. Alright, so now this one should be in here. Rawr. I love our little dino guy. The Devcha Hype Dino. Hopefully you guys like the Devcha Hype Dino. Async awake, that is absolutely correct. In fact, I lock him out of the room because I fear he would claw the green screen. He's kind of a misbehavior. What did we call it? Temp? Ooh, it may not have created it. So, might not have gotten it. No, it created temp. Weird. Okay, so it inserted in the database. Why is it not running? Oh, because I never wired it up. See, this is why we need this piece to be automated too. Because I forgot to add it in the setup bot. But either way, we didn't really want to keep it, and it tested the part that was actually important, which was that one. So now, what it doesn't do is look to see if there is if any of these need to disappear. So essentially that is the cleanup of, are there any that no longer exist, and nuke them, and I'm okay with it not having that just yet, although we should do that cleanup eventually. So let's make an issue for it, but then I'm good with merging this one in. So let's create an issue. Well, actually, let's merge it in first, just so we're consistent with that. And then we'll create an issue to record the fact that we need to fix that. So, so what we did here was create missing command words for new types. So we're going to send that up. We're going to merge that change in. Something else that you may have noticed if you've been paying attention is ooh, I'm going to have to take a look at those. Are the commands I'm allowed to run hard-coded? Kazru, right now, the setting for what permission is required for a command is hard-coded. And at some point we are going to want that to be configurable so that it is not in there. What role each person is not hard-coded, and that's based on what their Twitch role is. Okay, so in order to make this work, I need to resolve those conflicts. Hey, Polly, you made it! How's it going? Welcome, welcome. This is like your second time making it to the stream. Alright, so here's what we're going to change, guys. We need to fix this issue, so let's take a look. We're on here. We need to merge in master and resolve these conflicts. So I'm going to take a look for the conflicts in here, because we know there are a bunch of them apparently. System link got added. I can add that manually. So we're going to add in system link. Wow, we had a lot of got a lot of issues here. Got a lot of issues. Because alias command doesn't depend on that just yet. I'm just thinking that CMD says I can run Hangman, but I'm not a sub. So Kazru, you can run Hangman, you just can't start the game. So you're able to play in it, and so that's the reason that you've got that in there. So the idea is if I start a game of Hangman, so Hangman, you are allowed to play in that. So that's all that is. And Async Awake is correct. We should probably asterisk to let you know how that works. And should be a pretty easy thing to tell. Polys are pretty good. Just about to get something to eat. Oh, yeah, that is nice. You probably noticed that my throat's not doing all that much better. So, I've had this nasty cough. Has not been fun. Let's see. Oh, I need to add my alias command. I think that's the only new piece, right? This one's master. I'm on alias. So yes, that means that I need to add the alias command. Alias command takes in the repository, which I think makes it a simple one. So we're going to copy it up to here. And then I think I don't need any of the rest of these. No, it needs to do this. Oh, man. Alright, this needs a little bit more work before we merge that in. Backing it up. Backing it up. Okay. So that is messier than I realized. We're going to run into some weird bits there. Sounds good, Polly. Appreciate it. So that's going to take a bit of cleanup. I might do that off stream just so that we don't get into that mess. Because we're going to have to now take advantage of those new pieces. We can get some of that, I think, though. So let's do a couple of these here, because they shouldn't be too hard. I think we just want to take this one's stuff everywhere. The customizable command word for all of these ones. I'm not going to want to do that on here. No, that's crazy. Not going to resolve conflicts on there. We're going to have to do it locally. Alright, you know what? I'm actually going to keep trying it. But we're going to start simpler. We're not going to start in setup bot, because that's too complicated. That's going to give us a headache messing around with that on stream. There are a lot of things that are just a pain in the rear to mess around with on stream. This has a new notify method inside of base command. Right, so they all have access to command words now. So this was no longer even using that type. Is that correct? Yeah, it wasn't using all commands because command words was being used. All commands. What set all commands? That wasn't getting set? Where did that come from in that version then? You had command commands. Used to take in all commands. Still does. Still assigns it. Okay. And then we switched it to a repository in that. Okay. But then what did we do in the other one to mess with it? Because we messed with it here too. Add commands. So then here we also altered this. We removed all commands, removed the assignment. Where did all commands get set now, though? Must be in base command, right? Huh. Not confident that that was working, to be honest. Oh, command words, refresh command words. Which is those ones. This also has to assign them. Okay, so I think that needed to get set, so I'm worried that something got messed up there, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna let that fly for now. Let's see. Which is the one that works? It's the top one. But this now needs to take an iCurrency generator. What's this repository getting used for? Anything? Passed into the base. That's fine. Because base command now uses the iRepository to grab the command word. That's why all the commands now take it. It's kind of irritating, but what are you going to do? Commands command is going to have the same problem. Need to set all commands. How many years have you been running C#? So I started writing C# in 2005, and it is 2018, so that's, what, 13 years? No, will be 13 years this summer. So, which hopefully that answers your question. And C# is an awesome language. One of my favorite languages that has ever been created. So, and don't worry, if I do something that doesn't make sense, it seems weird in some way, just shout out and say, like, hey, what did that mean? Like, how did you do that? And I will explain it. So there are no questions here that are going to get you made fun of, so no one's going to look down on you. We're all beginners in any new language or platform at some point. So that's how it works. You gotta start learning and just go from there. So for now, what I'm doing, just to give a quick explanation, is I'm going through and I'm looking at the merge conflicts that we've got. We did a couple of pretty significant changes that came in from one of our regular viewers, JD Phoenix, well, one of our subscribers, I should say. And what JD did was set up two things. First off, changed how our commands are triggered by setting up the aliases that we wanted to get. So that's working nicely. But then the other change to how we initialize the commands at the beginning of the program, it's getting a little bit messed up because these two touch on the same pieces. And so we're just trying to get these worked out. So even if I don't get all of this resolved here, I will still make this available so that potentially he or I could finish it. Okay, so that is remove command, and add command was doing the same thing, I assume. Add command. It's using all commands. That one, okay. So this bot's actually running in chat if you want to give it a try. There are all kinds of commands that you can use. Just type in !commands, and it'll tell you which ones are available. So is it Big Therig? I apologize for butchering that name, but something like that. Thank you for following. Hopefully we will make your transition to C# a nicer one. And there should be an alert. Big the Rig. Got it. Yeah, I got it. And there is your alert on stream. QQ Kami. So how do you effectively merge if two people work on the same file? So usually what you do is, so I'm doing what, in most instances, the way that it works is the person whose change gets in there first is fine, and then whoever's got to fix, whoever's sending in the pull request has to fix it, which I'm actually being pretty nice to JD right now by fixing up this merge conflict, because technically we would ask him normally to fix it. But I was working in the code anyway, so I figured I would knock it out. And he's usually in chat, so I figured if he was working on it right now, then I could give him the warning, and he would not be working on the same thing at the same time. Okay, so we got a couple of those. Let's go ahead and get this. This is everything except for the setup. So I'm going to go ahead and stage all of these except for that one. There we go. So now that last one is the only one that I actually have to get. And I'm going to make a work in progress commit. This is resolve most merge conflicts. One left. It doesn't want to because I still have a merge conflict. Alright. Jerk. This is the code we really need to fix. Let's get rid of this, and this, and this, and then see what's duplicate. That's duplicate. Okay, sorted those. You can mark the file as result. Yeah, I can get away with that code writer, but I'm actually just going to do it. I was going to do it right now anyway, so I might as well. Okay, so the challenge in this one is that yeah, I don't really want to do that. That's why I'm not doing it. You are 100% correct. Alright, so the only file that I actually want to look at here is the setup bot. Every other file I want to get closed, so I don't have to see it. I wish I had a shortcut that just did this. But just to make things a little easier on myself, I'm just going to collapse every one of these so I can ignore all of these. And if someone knows a shortcut that I could click to just collapse all these things, that would be fantastic. But until I hear one, I'm just going to click these because it's not all that many. So the reason I'm doing this is I want to be able to take a look at the code between these two, and I want to see what specifically was changed from the previous code, so I know what these pull requests were doing, so I can preserve the important aspect of them. Because I know these are the two pieces that are colliding. And if I can see what each one was doing pretty clearly, then I can fix it pretty nicely also. So let's just get all these closed. So sorry about clicking things here, guys. Visual Studio has... It does have a diff tool, but the thing is that I want to get a diff not between the two versions, but between each version and its previous version. So that's why I'm going here, because this will show me that. And then I can flip between the two, because I just want a quick review of this. So that was set up by this one. Okay. So the significant change here, so essentially what I can do is if I just go and take the autofac version of this, which if you look, we're on the alias version. The autofac version is what's in master. So that means if I keep master, which is the lower part, and get rid of this for now and put it back in, then all I have to do is look at what that one was doing and we should be able to make it work. Which one's this? This is alias. So here we go. So what this did was it added repositories to some of the commands. So we're going to have to make them part of that set now. And then the other thing that it did was it did this for each alias thing. Put the alias command in it. Okay. So it made the command list. Some of these needed instances of all commands. Is alias one of the ones that needs instances of all commands, or is it the special one? Alias had access to the repository. Nothing else all that fancy about alias. Right? It needs to wire up that, though. Okay. So I am going to do that in here. So here's what we're going to do. What was it? Command list? Alright, hang on. We're the ones that needed a repository. What the? Oh. Why would I possibly ever want to search within that selection? You piece of garbage. On active, resolve the command list into it. Okay. I might create the alias command the same way, to be honest, as implemented interface. Okay. So we're gonna give it oh, that's how it's doing it. Okay, cool. In that case, we don't need this on the constructor anymore. That's why it all got busted up. I get it. I see what you did. I should have looked in there. Cool. So the help command then doesn't need it. It's going to assign all commands when it creates it. Okay, I got it. I got it. We're on board. We're on board. So context dot resolve an I repository into this. I'm on board. I'm on board. I get it. Because you want to delay load that in there, and that's fine. I get it. I get your reasoning. Conrad, I could, yeah, so the weird part, I do need to figure out how to do that better, Conrad. I need, all the instances of that. So I could resolve a command list into that, and it would need to be the right one. Resolve a list of ibot command. Yeah, maybe. There might be a way to do it. I'm not going to figure it out right now, though, because I want to get this resolved. We'll get to that later, Conrad. I think you're correct. I think, actually, that we can get away with that, but I don't want to do it yet because I want to get this working first. Let's solve one challenge at a time, because the whole way this registration happens needs to get cleaned up. But I'd like to get it like running first, and then once it's running, we can take a look at fixing it. Because it's not perfect, but it does some things better than what we were doing before. So alias command is going to take in one of those. Alias command does not have an all commands yet, but what it does is so I could resolve one and immediately use it. Which actually makes me realize I should just put it up here. Because it's not special. And because it's not special, we can put it up here and say instance per lifetime scope. And then, now that it's up here, Commands, builder, register, commands, assemble instance, there's simple commands. So now, I think what I want to do is as part of, yeah, because this is the bot setup, I want to say, so those special ones have access to all the other commands. That's what makes them different. Although I'm tempted to have that not work that way. I don't know, because if I give them access to the command handler as a type, then they don't need that command list anymore, and it's much easier. So, but we need to change that structure. There's a lot we can do to simplify this. We just need to dig into it and actually do it. So, what I want to do is this: container.resolve alias command. And then I also want to resolve the command list. And both of those are implemented as lifetime scope, I believe. Wait, why will that not give me one of those? Oh, okay. It will. Whoops. For each command list dot commands. Bot command, whoops, bot command dot, what's the, so essentially we're only ever going to make one and it's going to keep track of that, is the idea with that. So that's basically how that's going to work. So lifetime just means that when we run this code, that's how long it's going to be there. Resolve a command list. Okay, into that. There we go. Alias command, command list. Modified command dot notify command modified. Okay, I think that should do it. I'm gonna make this a method just because I'm like that. Wire up alias notifications. Essentially, Conrad, they're basically singletons. With the idea that being that if we wanted to restart the bot at some point, we could just reset the container essentially, get new instances of them, so it would be possible to do that. It's just being managed by the IOC container right now. This isn't running as a website or anything like that, and the memory footprint of the commands is very small, so there's no reason not to just load them all at the beginning and just keep them running. It runs pretty well as is, so... I think that was the last of those. Let's go ahead and give this a shot. I'm not sure if this is going to work, everybody, so cross your fingers. We got an exception almost immediately. Component not registered. Alias command has not been registered. That seems like a lie to me. Alias command, I registered it right here. You are calling me a liar, system. Let's see, it was probably way before that it tried it, right? Line 97. So when I attempt to resolve it inside of here, line 104, I try to resolve an alias command. Oh, as an ibot command. Oh, yeah, because it's only as its own interface. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to grab the command list. We're not going to resolve this one. What we're going to do is we're going to say, whoops. I'm going to bring this down here. So we're going to get that one first. And we're going to say, and we'll do this a safe way. So only if the alias command really is in there. We're going to say command list. Actually, before I do that, we're going to say command list dot singular default, and it's where the command is alias command. And we'll call that an alias command. And then we will say if alias command does not equal null, then we will wire this up inside of there. Oh yeah, I could do that. Yeah, good call, good call. Yeah, nice suggestion. I like it. That's a good suggestion. That's a very good suggestion, Conrad. Thank you. So we will change to that, and that is much nicer. Okay. Let's see, that's why I like pair programming. Because your brain will always forget about other ways that you could do things. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it, but stream brain is totally a thing. Oh, alright. Not terribly surprised that it's not perfect yet. It's just a different one, Eckstein. There are a lot of ways that we can do it. Yes, exactly, Sky Hoshi. Stream brain. 1 second, everybody. welcome to cold season in my area. Um, yeah, so Conrad is correct. Autofac is pretty commonly used and is used in .NET outside of .NET Core also. And if we were in ASP.NET Core right now, Eckstein, it would be really easy to just leverage all of the built-in parts of the DI that's built in there. It's actually not as nice to set up in just regular .NET Core. ASP.NET made it a little bit better. Yes, Sky Hoshi, that is totally correct. You know, if you've ever heard speakers talk about how any given demo could just fail at the will of the demo gods that just decide your demo should fail, that's basically what live streaming is. Anything I do could just get messed up and fail because you don't usually think about it as much while you're streaming. Like, your brain's still going, it's still your brain, but it's easy to forget about stuff. Yeah, Eckstein, that... Let's see, Caleb. Generic host in 2.1 brings some of the niceness of ASP.NET Core logging into the running console. Oh, that sounds fantastic, Caleb. If that is the case, we will probably take a look at that. Our plan is to jump to 2.1 as soon as the actual version drops. We don't want to pull in the preview because we have a lot of people that contribute to our project, and we don't want to force everybody to go and install preview bits on their machines just to run our code. So that's why we are holding off until 2.1 officially drops. And yes, they wanted a lightweight but built-in system, which I really appreciate that they took that direction. So let's take a look at this error. What type are we going to resolve? Resolve service, which, are you going to tell me what type you were going for? Wire up alias notifications. You failed on that, huh? In that case, I'm going to debug this rather than dig through that message. I'm hoping it'll catch us on that point and we'll be able to see what was actually going on. There we go. Register new command list. Resolve list of ibot command. An error occurs, see the inner exception for details. View details. Let's go. What do we got? None of the constructors. What the? Uptime command. Oh, I know what the problem is. Alright, that's fine. Okay, so here's what got us. I'm almost certain. I'm betting this became an interface. It did. And our previous constructor, we needed to change to that. So when doing this, he set up a bunch of those. So let me take a look. Whoops. Just going to go through the commands that we have listed here. Take a look at our constructors. See if any of them have anything else. We didn't make one of these, did we? Yeah, we did. Okay, so that one was going to blow up on me. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. There's nothing special about that one. Don't need that pinned. And base command should be fine. Okay. Let's run it again. See what we get. One of the nice things that you can actually set up with most IOC containers is just having them attempt to resolve all of their types, and like as just part of your test process. So your unit tests can just attempt to resolve each one and let you know if they work. So we said coins, tokens, whoops. Okay, so aliasing is working. Alias add what do we want for the alias for this? Dollars. Dollar bills. Whoops. And so you guys can see what I'm typing. This is what I'm typing. Alias, delete, dollar, whoops, actually I should try it first. Dollar, bills. Didn't work. Okay, so see? Not quite wired up perfectly yet. Because actually, I think I wanted to do that for all of them, because this isn't one of these. I'm gonna need to take a look at that. It's not done. Dollar bills. Okay. So here's the problem. When I wrote that, I did not connect it correctly. We said is of type base command, but that's not enough. How do the simple commands wire up? How do the simple commands wire up? It's a good question. Oh, it's not a simple command. That's why. So it didn't wire up. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the bot. It never wired up. Okay. I'm going to drop a breakpoint here. We're going to go ahead and run this debug. We're going to take a look. What's in our command list? Wow, that got a lot slower. There's an alias command. Okay, that looks like it's the alias command. It's not null. We can come in here. That should wire up each one of these to call that. And just call that piece. That should wire it up. That's just a little lambda that calls command that. All right. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hop over onto base command. This notify words modified is supposed to call this method when it happens. So I am going to alias add alias aka. Doesn't call it. Alright, so that didn't get wired up. We know it set this up though. Is that our alias command though? How did we create alias command? Alright, we're gonna do that. Whoops. Did not mean to type that. Oh, that was fun. Don't try to type while you're doing this stuff. That's a bad idea. Yep, nothing's wired into it. No events. This is not the same alias. Alright, we're gonna do this. We're gonna have one instance of each of these for now. We're not gonna worry about it. We're gonna actually make them real singletons. So now when I run this, let's see what it does. Alright, alias, alias, add alias, aka, alias go, aka, alias add alias, aka, aka. Thanks, bot, for getting me on that. Okay, so it's now working. So there we go. We're gonna stick with that. Add coins. Money. All right, I'm gonna shoot that cooldown here in a minute, because I do not like that. AKA delete money. AKA delete. AKA. It's kind of funny. Alright. So, I am going to call that good. That got messy. Alright, so this is resolving all the merge conflicts. Yes, exactly, Skyhoshi. I'm going to exempt myself from that. That is the plan. Yes, Arid Tag, it should ignore me. The time of value in your setting should be tweaked since it's too... Yes, exactly. Yep, I agree. 100%. That is how that should work. I should be exempted from it, and we should also probably tweak it up a little bit. Or down a little bit? Down a little bit. Yes, we can most likely allow mods to not get hit by those. Okay, so that is mostly fixed. let's go ahead and take a look. Now that pull request should be getting built by AppVeyor. This is a ginormous change. We'll see how it does. Assuming it works, we'll bring it in and treat anything else that comes of this as a bug. So if something does break from this, I apologize, guys. That's one of the nice things about, you know, we could potentially do like a master and a dev branch, but we have so few of us that are actually working on this that, you know, it's only like a dozen people at most, that we can afford to take the chance. Alright, there it goes. I am going to bring this in, which will make it nice because now anything that's using this can just depend on it and we don't have to worry about it. And I apologize also, Arid Tag, this is going to make it so we're going to have to change some stuff on the Discord implementation. So, Big the Rig, I use var in certain cases and in certain cases not. I actually tend to not like, I tend to think people overuse var also. Here's my general rule. And actually I violated it in this, I know. So, but my general rule is, if I can identify the type easily by looking at the line of code, then I use var. If I cannot determine the type by looking at it, and that includes if I wouldn't be able to tell, is that like a list of the name or is that a list of the object itself? So for example, if I said a list of chat users, is that a list of chat user objects or chat user names? And if I can't tell the difference, I like to have the type on there. So I would see a list of string or a list of chat user, right? The variable, of course, would just be named like chat users. So that's usually how I determine it. So for example, on this line, because the type is listed here, I would use a var. So that's sort of how I draw the line. And if the type is going to get really long and complicated because we're returning back some kind of weird, like, link-created structure, I use a var because I'm, you know, not trying to make myself cry. But that's just me. Spawn Hub TV, hello, welcome. Hopefully you're having a good Monday. Hopefully everybody's having a good Monday. Mondays aren't usually happy days, but we write code, so that makes us a little happier. Here, have a hangman game, everybody. We need to add new words to that hangman game. Yeah, does that make sense, Big the Rig? That's usually the line I draw. Okay, so did I jump back to Master Branch? I did not. Let's jump back to the Master Branch. I'm going to go ahead and fetch that, which should be the same one we're running now. So, should be no difference. There we go. 12 hours fixing a Docker file. Wow. Coded beard. That is not the way to spend your Monday. I will give you that one. That one sounds miserable. Alright, so let's take a look at our issues. User role, specific limitations, docs, switching edit counter, achievements, charge, customizable command words. That is in. We're going to close that because we have that one in here now. Anything else that we find is now a bug in that. And we had something for dependency injection. Cleanup, dependency injection. We've added autofac, but we still need to clean up here. So we're going to say that. So I'm going to keep that one alive. I spend my Monday, like most Mondays, writing F#. That actually sounds awesome. I am hoping to get another F# developer to come on the stream as a guest. I have been talking with him about showing up. and assuming he does get here, then he does other stuff more than just F#, but one of the guests that I've been trying to get on here does write F# code on a regular basis for work, so hence he's someone that I would want to bring on. Well, I would want to bring him on anyway, but he's someone that could do that on stream. To avoid all confusion, the bots require a specific role. Okay. Docs to wiki or disable the wiki tab. Oh, I closed the wiki tab. Bot enable emojis. What is this request? So, with a standardized emoji polling piece to standardize the emoji use across platform, meaning if the bot wants to add a smiley that is not standardized across the platforms, it will be able to look up the... Oh, that'd be cool, Sky Hoshi. So if we wanted to have it use the Discord one or something else. Let's put it this way. Let's get it connecting to multiple places. Assuming you're still in here, Sky Hoshi, before we actually put that in here, let's do that. So okay. There you go. And I don't remember seeing Suzuna. I know Swifty Spiffy was here for a while, but I don't think Suzuna's around. Either way, when Swifty Spiffy and Suzuna are around, maybe we'll do this tomorrow. I want to update to the latest Twitch libs, so we're going to go through, we're going to get to a newer version of Twitch lib, and we're going to rewire that connection. And then I also want to get our Discord connection set up sometime soon. So speaking of Discord, if you are in chat and you are not on our Discord, you should go check out our Discord. That is a place where you can talk with the rest of us outside of the stream. Because we only stream 4 times a week, and that is Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And it's funny that I say only, because I think that that's actually a lot of time for the stream, which is awesome and good. If you want to check out the project, which if you can't see the URL on screen, which you probably can, but if you wanted to click a link, it is now in chat, and you can go to github.com/devchatter to take a look at those. If you haven't yet, make sure you click the follow button that's somewhere up or down or over there or somewhere around on your screen. Might be a heart, might be something else, depending on whether you're an app or the desktop thing. You should click that. And you will be notified when we go live. Also, you can test out the bot, because this bot that is running will acknowledge you in chat when you do click the follow button. And then other than that, I think I want to wrap for the day, guys. We've been running for... let's check the uptime command. Stream's been going for close to 3 hours. Hopefully everybody had a good time, enjoyed the code. I think things will be a little bit smoother tomorrow because I won't be fighting this cold quite as much, because it's mostly gone now, but you know, I've got the lingering effects of it. And I think we're going to wrap here though. So Spawn Hub TV, can you contribute? The answer is yes. Not sure what you if there's a specific thing that you want to contribute or what your expertise is, but this is a good list of things that we're working on. Big the Rig, thank you for the cheer. I don't have a anything in the bot yet acknowledging a cheer, which we should do for the Twitch ones. Some kind of a something to acknowledge that a cheer happened. So, not sure how what specifically to do on that one, because I want to keep it fairly general, but appreciate it. We always like the biddies here. So yeah. Any questions before I jump out of here? Anything I should mention, answer? This actually seems like a pretty easy enhancement, so I'll mark that as a good first one. And this is also an enhancement. Someone wants a feature requested there. Thank you, Big the Rig. Much appreciated. Spawn Hub TV, also appreciated. Let me know if there's something you want to dig into. And thank you for that follow. Mopina TV? I apologize for messing up that name. I'm sure I did. You can close the make the on-screen chat bigger issue. Oh, yes, that's true. I did make that bigger. Where is it? Wait, what? Oh, yes, right. It's over here. Duh, brain. Do the brain thing with the brain. It's over here. So this is the issue that he's talking about. Make the on-screen chat box bigger. Yeah. And if you want to see, we do have some stuff over here. Spawn Hub TV, thank you for the follow. We occasionally have some information for upcoming streams. I did not complete the heist game because I spent too much time merging in pull requests, but there's a good chance that we will do more of that later. And we did review those. I will put in probably what tomorrow's is, and I'm going to try to get some other things scheduled out for the future ones, but if anything gets scheduled, specifically, it will be on there. So, as you know, we can set that up on there. And everything is either down below. So if you want to know when our next stuff is, there is a panel on Twitch, if you're in the website, that will show you in your time zone when the next stream is. And I think we're going to call that it for the day. So thank you, everybody. And have a great rest of your Monday.